Hi everyone! If you have noticed, or maybe you haven't noticed, the overhead light in my room does absolutely nothing. And in case you've never noticed that, because I usually have an additional studio light on, let me show you. See, did that? It's like making on, off, on, off. It's making barely any difference. So rather than keep around a light that is absolutely useless in my life, I'm going to turn it into something fun. A couple years ago, my dad and I went on a trip to London. We went to the Natural History Museum, and if you're unfamiliar with there, they have a giant blue whale skeleton hanging from the Great Hall, and it has haunted me ever since. So today, I'm building a whale skeleton to hang from my ceiling. Let's go do that. To do this, I had to take a trip to Wyoming to see my parents and to see the makerspace they have there, which my mom happens to be the director of. So makerspace, if you're unfamiliar with what that is kind of a community place or center full of 3D printers, laser cutters. This one has a full wood shop, all sorts of kind of techie tools and materials that people would probably not have in their own homes. And you can go in with kind of like a gym membership deal and use their equipment. So instead of going to the gym and using a treadmill you might not have at home, you can go to the makerspace and use a 3D printer that you might not have at home. So it is a great place for creatives or builders to do all sorts of really cool projects. And this particular project involved a file from Etsy and the laser cutter. So let's go to Wyoming, right? Like I mentioned, I found this file on Etsy. There's a lot of laser cut files available on Etsy. You just type in whatever you want, laser cut file, and it'll give you the plans to just download and send to the laser cutter, which is almost like a printer, except instead of, printing with ink, it is pairing a high-powered laser with a specific computer that is telling each of the coordinates along a path to create the design. So all I had to do was cut out the pieces, pack them up, and bring them in my suitcase across the country. All right, we're back, and the best part about the 3D laser cutter is that this comes flat packed in little tiny pieces, super easy to put in my suitcase and travel back across the country. And let's put it together, shall we? So I got to work putting this together. It was a kind of complicated. There were numbers matching it up, but I didn't know where the files were with other instructions. So I put a few pieces together backwards, a few pieces kind of broke, and I re-glued them together. It was an interesting experience. I got frustrated sometimes, but I think overall it turned out really cute. I ended up painting it white to be more bone-esque, and let's see how it turned out. All right, whale skeleton is finished. Oh, I just distracted. Oops. Whale skeleton is finished, and I love the way it turned out. Also, fun new angle of me standing on a step stool in my studio space. But here's my whale skeleton. I think he turned out really super cute, and I'm so excited about him. The only thing that's like a little questionable is the attachment point. And that's just, we were just kind of my husband and I were making do with what we had in order to attach him to the ceiling. And when we took down the ceiling fan and light that was in there, we discovered more questionable DIY operations from the previous homeowners. So eventually we'll probably take a trip to Home Depot and make that look better. But for now, whale skeleton. I think it's really great. Let me show you guys what it looks like when I walk into my room. When you walk into the room, it's hanging down at you at kind of that 3/4 angle, which I think is fantastic. Just a little buddy to greet you there when you walk into the room. So that's my whale skeleton I made for my room to kind of be like the British Museum. And now I don't have a light in my room to do absolutely nothing. I have a fun whale skeleton buddy instead. Thank you all for joining me on this journey of using makerspace and a laser cutter to make a laser cut wooden whale skeleton to hang up on my ceiling, because why the heck not? So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, tell your friends all about me. Check out my Buy Me a Coffee page if you want to help support me. And as always, keep it tasty!